Hello and welcome to the RotoWire Esports Show. My name is Ethan Sexton, and here with me, as always, is DFS Chan. Chan, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Two more sweeps today in the LPL, including BLG picking up that upset win over JDG. It was low scoring, so as we projected. Although in Game 1, BLG 23 kills in the Game 1 win looked pretty good. JDG just kind of continue as an up and down sort of team.
Yeah, I don't know. JDG might carry that, volatility status for that team. I feel like Hanabi is really the only player that's been solid, in my opinion. I know Yagao played well in Game 2 to begin with on LeBlanc, but, I just feel like Hanabi has been the only consistent player on that team. Other teammates look kind of shaky, and BLG came through today. They came to play. They look really good today against JDG, especially Biu, Wei Wei, and Zika, the top 3 players on the map. So I was very impressed with BLG. I just feel like they'll need to string 1 or 2 more wins like this against good opponents to be able to make the playoffs at the end of the split.
Yeah, I think BLG are a team that are good enough to beat like the mid-tier teams, mid-tier playoff teams. Not sure if we would really want to see them like or think they could do much against maybe like an EDG or an FPX, or like if RNG continues to ramp up and look like the best version of themselves again. I don't think we would like BLG against them. But, I think I did mention yesterday that I thought JDG would win, so I'm not taking credit for BLG winning. But, I think I did mention that BLG have shown the ability to be able to upset teams like JDG so far this year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, BLG, this morning's slate, I feel like anybody could have won. I know we both picked JDG to win, but, obviously getting the long stack from that other match helped me to cash still, even with JDG players in my lineup.
Yeah, so that was the long stack you really needed. And, of course, you're referring to WE with the 2-0 sweep over LGD.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of weird. I mean, less kills for WE, but still you wanted them in your lineup. You know what I mean? They had 33 kills to BLG's 36, but they were still good, especially you made out well if you had Breathe in there.
Yeah, Breathe was on fire. He was breathing fire throughout the game. But yeah, WE, I think the reason why WE players scored really well is because their kill participation rate was really high all around amongst the players. So, we talked about this on a previous video, but BLG tends to play slow, and sometimes even though that can result in high kills at the end in the game, that also means that some of the players are not participating in team fights and all. So sometimes there's sporadic fights just with 2-on-2 or 1-on-1, solo kills and all that, for BLG, whereas Team WE was constantly grouped against LGD because LGD was forcing a lot of team fights around objectives today. And that's really, frankly, that's how their win condition has been for the split. And same for WE. They like to skirmish as a whole team. So obviously that kind of favored WE to score better, even though their total kill was, somewhat lower than BLG's win today. But that kind of helped out whoever, for those DFS players who, long stack WE players today.
Yeah, for sure. So it's pretty good slate all around. LGD, they're still, they're struggling a bit after their hot start. They're under 500 again now, down in 12th place. I don't know. We both thought originally that they might end up being like one of the last playoff teams, but they're going to have to jump ahead of, RNG, a Suning, a Top Esports. And, to be honest, Chan, I'm not seeing it. Because teams like Rare Atom and LNG and BLG continue to play at a record right now, at least better than those teams. I'm not sure LGD. Maybe they can jump OMG, but OMG are about to get jumped for the 10th place spot by RNG. So I don't know. LGD, maybe they're going to be on the outside looking in at a playoff spot.
Yeah, I agree. They'll need to make a change or two. I feel like a lot of these teams nowadays are at a point in the split where they need to make some changes if they want to push for the playoffs. Like, we're about to talk about LNG on this slate today, but I feel like LGD just has not made, really made any change except for the top lane. So I just feel like, hasn't been an answer. So we'll see what they do throughout the next couple weeks.
Yeah, for sure. So let's go ahead and jump into tomorrow's slate, Chan. We kick things off with a pretty good matchup here. Suning taking on LNG. Suning are minus 230 favorites, according to the odds makers. Suning are the second most expensive team across the board on DraftKings. The only role where they're the highest priced is at ADC with Huan Feng. This feels like a pretty close one to me. I mean, Suning have been really good of late. I can't say the thing I used to say about they would lose to the teams above them and beat the teams below them in the standings because they've beaten some teams ahead of them. So LNG still looking strong here, man. 8-3. They came back a little, but they've righted the ship now. So where do you lean here? I mean, Suning as the favorite. Maybe just take a shot on LNG, but what do you think?
Yeah, if for match prediction, I do have Suning win. I don't agree with the odds. I think the odds are a little skewed in Suning's favor, a little too much. Obviously, like you said, LNG has a better record than Suning. But then Suning has been very hot lately. They've beaten JDG, Top Esports, OMG, and RNG. And then they had a little hiccup against Rogue Warriors, but I don't really buy that much into that one because sometimes these elite teams or these good teams, play down to, the opponent's level at times when they play against like bottom tier teams like Rogue Warriors. So, yeah, I mean, those are really, that's a good list of wins, JDG and Top Esports especially. So I just feel like Suning has been a better, much better form of lately compared to LNG's recent 5 game history, whereas they lost to Team WE, and they lost to Ultra Prime, and they lost to Rare Atom. So I just feel like, I think the odds are fine as it is. So I just think that will also increase the ownership on Suning because the odds are very high for Suning. So I think for cash games, yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards Suning. And also, FPX in the other matchup is the bigger favorite, but yeah, I'll definitely have FPX Suning for cash lineups. I mean, I feel like Suning, is deservedly, the favorite in this matchup against LNG.
Yeah, I think so too. I just think Suning have way more upside than LNG. Wouldn't be surprised if either team won though. So I think you could play both sides here and split your lineups that way and then pair them up with FPX because if we jump over to that game, FPX are the biggest favorites on the slate, like you mentioned. OMG have really been humbled a lot lately. Like I said, they're down in 10th. This one to me looks like a pretty clean sweep for FPX, especially we get Chris back in there. I don't think Shenyi was bad or anything, but, getting Chris back is a nice boost for FPX. This feels like it'll probably be a sweep for FPX.
I think so too. And let's see, all of the metrics except for the first blood percentage maybe favors FPX. So, that tells me that FPX should dominate just based on those statistics. And then also, like you said, just based on the last 5 opponent history, OMG has been on a skid. They lost to LNG. They lost to Suning. They lost to EDG, whereas FPX has beat Top Esports, Rare Atom, LGD as the most recent 3 opponents. And Nuguri after going on a break, feeling burnt out, and he comes back and he comes out firing. So I like that matchup for FPX in the top lane against Nu for OMG. And then, like you said, Crisp is back for FPX, and I feel like, they look much better with Crisp in the lineup, in my opinion. And hopefully he's fully recovered, and he's back in the lineup against Cold for OMG. And yeah, that bottom lane will be an interesting matchup, in my opinion. Might be a wash because Abel and Cold has been playing well too. But FPX, just Tiana and Doinb and Nuguri, that top 3 are more scary than you, Aki, and Cream for OMG. So yeah, just based on the statistics and the eye test and the opponent history, they all favor FPX. So I'll definitely have FPX in all of my lineups, and then maybe just mix in Suning or LNG from the other matchup.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I don't see OMG winning. I mean, you're going to get the best leverage if you go to OMG. They're going to be the lowest owned team on the slate, just as the biggest underdog and all that. And they were good at one point this year, but teams have kind of caught on. If you ban certain champions from Cream, he's not looking as good, and they just haven't been as strong here lately. Chan, do you have a preference on some of these players though? Because if you go Suning and FPX, we both think that they're the teams that are probably going to win tomorrow. You're going to have to pay up. So I'm not even sure, if I take a look here, it might be difficult to even do double jungle tomorrow. You know what I mean? So is there, is double top viable? I think yes with Bin and Duanby, but do you agree? Or excuse me, with Bin and Nuguri, I think double top is a viable way to go tomorrow if you're stacking up Suning and FPX.
Yeah, I think there are just so many different ways to go about it for the combo between Suning and FPX. And I think I saw somebody posting, or I think I saw that the double mids was possible at one point. So we'll see. I mean, I feel like obviously if that is possible, like you said, Ethan, that's going to be the most popular stack. I mean, the ownership of that stack will be just through the roof. So I'll probably like to differentiate myself.
Yeah.
Like you said, double jungle or double top. So we'll see. Yeah. I like those stack options as well. I mean, Tian and SOFM, like the most recent 5 games that Suning played in, SOFM has been playing really well. I mean, he has a very high kill participation percentage and kill share percentage. So he has picked up his slack, and I feel like, frankly, that's one of the main reasons why Suning has been playing really well the last 5 games or so. I mean, so yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind jungle stack. I definitely wouldn't mind top stack. Bin and Nuguri, either one or both of them can go off, in any single game. So.
Yeah, for sure. I should have tried it before I talked, Chan, because you definitely can do double jungle and you can do double mid. So it is possible. But like to your point, I think those will be the chalkier ways to go potentially, especially double mid people will probably go to since you can fit it. So yeah, getting a little bit of differentiation with double jungle, like we talked yesterday, double jungle's been a great way to build lineups this split. So I think that could be a way to go. And then double top, the lowest owned of those 3 combinations, I think. But you got Nuguri and you got Bin, 2 guys who can carry the games. So I don't mind double top at the lowest of ownership combination. At least I would assume it'd be the lowest owned.
Yeah, I agree. And then for those of you who are interested in learning about who LP and Kadaya are for LNG, they're starting again in the AD carry and support position. They've replaced Light and Awandi, who used to play for LNG, or who used to start for LNG. They're still on the roster, but LP and Kadaya are starting. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like in the last series they look pretty good. Their champion pool is more. Somebody said that their champion pool is more diverse than Light and Awandi. Awandi is either hit or miss based on certain champions that he played on. So yeah, apparently, one interesting fact about Kadaya, apparently I'm not fluent in Chinese, but apparently Kadaya means side duck in Pokemon in Chinese. So apparently that's that's an interesting fact of the day. But anyway, so yeah, I digress. But yeah, LP and Kadaya, so I think they are fine. I mean, I feel like they haven't caused any issues for LNG in the last series. So I just feel like, I mean, I don't think it's a huge upgrade or downgrade either way. But I just feel like LNG also tend to play kind of separately in the top 3, Ale and Tarzan and Icon, and then Light and Awandi have been doing their own thing anyway in their bottom lane. So I just feel like the top 3 matchup, for Suning, LNG, Bin, SOFM, M, and Angel versus the Ale, Tarzan, and Icon will decide the game, and I favor Suning in that regard, just based on the recent form and statistics. So,
yep, I'm on board with that, man. Chan, another 2-gamer here before we get back to 3 gamers on Thursday. We'll be talking about tomorrow's video, but anything else you wanted to bring up before we go?
Yeah, I would definitely get the long stack from FPX versus OMG matchup. Every single CK combined kills per minute metric in every imaginable scenario. That matchup is producing potential higher potentially higher kill upside compared to Suning and LNG. Both Suning and LNG, tend to play on the slower side for LPL teams. So I would definitely get a long stack from FPX and OMG, which means, using the long stack for FPX because not many people will play OMG. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a kind of a chalky slate. I'm definitely gonna have a long stack FPX and then kind of sprinkle Suning and LNG as the short stack here and there. So I think it's gonna be a very chalky slate. But like Ethan said, there are ways to differentiate your roster. Maybe stacking your junglers or top laners today, and really the top laner options are pretty good today. So we'll see what happens, but that's gonna be a pretty chalky slate today.
Yeah, I think so too. We did get a question, Chan, from Sarugi W here. He says, so playing double mid for cash and either double jungle and double top for GPP. For cash though, double mid, you can fit it. And that's traditionally been the way you would want to go. Do you like double mid though, or do you like double jungle? Because, as we've seen, double jungle's been highest scoring, I think, way to go a lot of these slates. So for cash, which would you prefer?
Yeah. Let me run some numbers real quick. Is it Suning and FPX, right? So let's see. Yep. Suning and FPX, kill participation percentage, SOFM, maybe SOFM, yeah. Has the highest kill participation percentage, and then Tian has the lowest kill participation percentage, and then Doinb and Angel have the middle two. So yeah, and then it looks like Doinb has a very high kill share at 29%, very much significantly higher than the other three, SOFM, Angel, and Tian. So yeah, I think double middle, stacking the mid laners today would be the optimal lineup, probably just based on statistics. But like I said, it's going to be so popular, and the ownership on that lineup. I think there's only one or two ways to stack the mid laners today, just based on pricing. So obviously that limits your, options as, what your cash lineup is going to be. And even if that lineup wins, you might make, $2 instead of $5 in the $5 double ups. So, the main double up contest. So we'll see what happens. I'm definitely not going to play double mid. I'm going to try to differentiate myself a little bit. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, it's tough when everybody has the same lineup, because then you don't even double up, or if you make one tiny mistake, you're just out completely. So it does make cash a little bit of a challenge on a chalky slate like this. All right, Chan, anything else before we go, man?
No, but I think that same guy who asked that question had a comment on yesterday's video about the long stack, what the long stack means. Oh. So do you want to go ahead, Ethan, and talk about it?
No, go right ahead, man. You were on a roll.
No, I feel like I was ready to talk about this slate for a long time today. The long stack means just, typically in League of Legends DFS, you want to build four players from one team that you think will score the highest, and then 3 players or 2 players in the team slot from the second team that you think will score the second highest points overall. So yeah, when I say long stack, that means you just use 4 players from that team you think will score the highest. And then in this example, on tomorrow morning slate, it would be FPX just based on statistics. So yeah, I would try to target 4 players from FPX, and I think he said he wants to stack the mid laners. So I would definitely captain Doinb there. And then go from there and get 3 other players from FPX if you can, if pricing allows that. So yeah, that's where it is. And, that's obviously an optimal way of, building a League of Legends DFS lineup, but, there are so many different ways to go about it. And today, I think it was the winner today from this morning slate was 3-4 rather. Zika captain, I think it was the winner. Because he had just had an awesome game, one of the games, and he just blew up, and that worked out too. And for GPP purposes, like you said, you have to differentiate yourself, and just hoping for that it works out. So.
Yeah, well, Sarugi, he dropped a comment, Chan, as you were doing that, saying thanks for explaining it. So thanks for doing that, man. No problem. Any questions? Like, if anybody's watching has any questions, we try to check the comments, check the everything. So we try to answer them as best we can. So always feel free to do that. Chan, good talking to you as always, man. If you guys have enjoyed this video, drop a like and please subscribe to the channel down below. It keeps you up to date on, when we're going to go live. And then, of course, the recorded videos are always on the channel as well. If you want to check out RotoWire, you can go to rotowire.com/try. Get yourself a free 10-day trial with no credit card required. And once you're signed up, you can go to rotowire.com/chat, and that'll get you into our subscriber-only Discord server, which is also a great place to, for questions, comments, everything like that. So please check out those links if you would. Chan, thank you as always, man, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds good. Good luck, everybody.